Hello my friends, my name is Artur Rehi and I am an Estonian YouTuber. Another day I was making a video and someone commented that in Poland there was a bear in World War II. How is that possible? How can a bear be in World War II? Bears don't go to wars, they're animals. So we're gonna watch a video. I think the bear was called Wojtek, I'm not really sure. We're gonna find out right now. I haven't seen any of those videos. But I wouldn't be surprised because it's Poland and they can pull off some miraculous stuff. So let's dive into the Polish bear who went to the war. Crazy, right?
The Soldier Bear, World War II.
The Soldier Bear.
A new Polish army was setting up in the Middle East in 1942 under British command when one of the soldiers noticed a bear cub presented to them by an Iranian boy. The bear had been made an orphan after its mother had been shot by hunters. The soldiers purchased the cub, and it was taken under care by a civilian refugee in the camp. In August, the bear was donated to the 2nd Transport Company, or what would become known as the 22nd Artillery Supply Company of the Polish II Corps.
How? You can donate bears? I didn't know that. You should donate bears to the kindergartens or to foster homes, you know. Children love bears. Just donate all the bears in the world to kindergartens.
And given the name Wojtek by the soldiers. And
Wojtek! I knew it, it's Wojtek, yeah!
soon he would become a morale-boosting mascot for the troops. The soldiers fed him milk from a vodka bottle, fruit, honey, and the odd beer as a reward. Wojtek was also fun.
What a life! You're a bear, you're just in the army, and you get beer for your reward. I mean, I would do a lot of things for beer as a reward, so yeah. Alcohol is the best way to train a bear.
Fond of cigarettes, which he would smoke and eat, and liked to wrestle the men, and could salute on command. When the Polish army were about to leave Egypt to enter Italy in 1943, there was a problem with Wojtek's status as an animal, and he would not be allowed to accompany the soldiers in the fighting. To get around this, the bear was officially drafted into the Polish army.
Yeah, the bear is in the army now, and he's smoking, that's so cool.
As a private, and given his own paybook and serial number. During the Battle of Monte Cassino, Wojtek supported the artillerymen by carrying crates of ammunition to the men. One of his carers, Henryk Zakarowicz, had to leave the bear alone for the day to spot targets. Wojtek was chained near the soldiers firing artillery and started copying what the men were doing, picking up the crates and carrying them near to the cannons.
What? Damn, this is so cool! I'm getting goosebumps, this is so awesome. The bear wants to help. The bear hates the Nazis that much, he wants to help.
After the battle, the 22nd Artillery Supply Company made their badge a depiction of a bear holding a shell. When the war ended in May 1945, Wojtek and the 22nd were transported to Berwickshire, Scotland, and were stationed at Winfield Camp. Many of the soldiers would have to say goodbye to Wojtek, as their service would take them to other parts of the world. Following demobilization in 1947, Wojtek would live in Edinburgh Zoo, where he became popular with the locals, visited by journalists and the Polish ex-servicemen who fought with him. He would pass away in 1963 at the age of 21.
Wow, what a story. This was such a short video, but so intense. Polish bear fights in Africa, then fights in Italy, and then turns out into the zoo. Amazing how smart bears are actually. I made a video about Finnish bears also, the link's in the description below if you want to see it. Finland bears are pretty funny, Finnish people yell at them and they run away, but this is some next level stuff. Polish bears, I mean it's not a Polish bear, it's like an African bear probably, some kind of, but he fought in the war in Poland size. I bet the Nazis didn't have anything like it. But don't worry, we have one more video about Wojtek. It's a little bit longer. The first one was just too short, so I'm gonna watch one more. Maybe it has some more information, because I love this topic. The bear that went to war.
Bears are often seen as dangerously unpredictable, having bursts of aggression, and being terrifyingly strong. But for one bear in particular, being lovingly raised by people in the midst of war built a level of trust that created a legend. This is the story of Wojtek. World War II was plagued with absolute chaos, especially for the Polish people. Having been invaded by the Nazis and Soviets only 16 days apart, countless people were displaced. Many Polish soldiers were brought into into the Soviet Union for slave labor and imprisonment as prisoners of war. But after the Nazi betrayal of the Soviets in 1941, the Soviet Union gave amnesty to many of their Polish captives. With the Polish-Russian military agreement, the Soviets allowed Poles to make a Polish army on Soviet soil.
Wait, so the Soviets allowed Polish to make their own army. Did a lot of Polish join the army? Because I mean, Soviets were still the occupiers. What I'm really asking is, did they Soviet Union forcefully took Polish men into this army, or the Polish joined by themselves? Because I find it hard to believe, because when Soviets came to Estonia, Estonians did not go by their own choice to the Soviet army. They were forced there. Estonians would have joined Nazi side by their own choice, but not the Soviet side.
As this newly founded Polish militia was traveling south into Iran, some soldiers and civilian refugees came across a young Iranian boy with a bear cub in a sack. After telling the group that its mother had been killed by hunters, one of the lieutenants felt compelled to purchase the cub, as the group was able to relate, for many of them had been orphaned themselves. The bear cub ended up under the care of a girl, who gifted it to one of the Polish generals. He then moved him out to Iraq, where he would be raised by soldiers and financially supported by the British. For a while, he was being fed condensed milk out of an old vodka bottle. But as he grew older, the British commander...
What could be wrong with that? Condensed milk from a vodka bottle. It's such a Slavic thing to do.
...permitted feeding him the rations of a soldier. Eventually getting so big, they permitted him to have 2 soldier rations. During this time, he grew very attached to the Polish soldiers, where they gave him the name Wojtek, being Polish for he who is happy in battle. Wojtek proved to be extremely tame, being impressively comprehensive over command, often wrestling with the men but never hurting them, taking rides in their vehicles, and even going out and drinking with them. He was given his
Bears do love to drink, we can learn that from the video.
His own money as well as cigarettes and chocolate, like any other soldier. The soldiers even taught him how to smoke an actual cigarette. Once the soldiers were prepared to be in battle, Wojtek was placed under the care of the 22nd Artillery Supply Company of the Polish 2nd Corps, which contained many of his original caretakers. He became the official mascot of the regiment, even having a special emblem created, as the company moved toward Egypt so they could be sent to Italy to support an invasion effort under the Americans and British. They officially drafted him into the Polish army, giving him the rank of private. Wojtek would eventually find himself in the Battle of Monte Cassino. He became helpful within the company due to his immense strength. Though the soldiers say it's often exaggerated that he carried artillery shells themselves, he did lift heavy boxes that contained artillery shells and stacked them, making it easy for the soldiers so they didn't have to bend down. The Polish army was so pivotal in the battle that the Polish flag was raised first, so maybe he did make a difference. After this battle was won, he and his company were shipped to Scotland, where he lived with his fellow soldiers in a barracks. By the end of the war, he was promoted to the status of corporal and would eventually
a bear that's a corporal, that's the highest ranking bear in the world, I'm pretty sure about that.
Stay in Scotland, due to a large portion of his company not wanting to go back to Poland, due to the fact that it had become a communist state. In 1946, members of Wojtek Company asked the Edinburgh Zoo if they could accommodate him until the regiment could bring him to a free Poland, as they described it. Wojtek would go on.
Free Poland. That took a while, I'm afraid Wojtek won't see free Poland.
To remain at the Edinburgh Zoo for the rest of his life, passing away in 1963 at the age of 21. From time to time, his company would come by to pay visit and toss him cigarettes, and it is also said that he would get excited when he heard Polish being spoken. With that, Wojtek has gone down in history as a very unique example of the special relationship between human and animal, being a symbol of hope, an individual that the Polish themselves could relate to, and a family member to those who his life impacted the most. Wojtek, the bear that went to war.
Oh, this is so cool. That's a topic you don't get every day. Usually I make videos about memes, but I'm so glad that once in a while a video like this is suggested to me by you guys. This was suggested by you guys. Amazing, very cool, and I would have never guessed something like this exists until I see it, because it's not an easy thing to believe. A bear in a war, no, you don't believe it. But here it is. Now I do believe it. So you Polish are some crazy people. This is cool, and I hope you can maybe bring it back bring some more bears, I don't know, have some giraffes also in your army, because they're so tall and they can like lift tall stuff. If you want me to watch more videos like that, suggest them in the comments below. Now, I won't be making any new videos from October 1st, because I will be in the army also. We don't have Polish bears in Estonian army, we don't have Estonian bears in Estonian army, but they will have me. So yeah, but I'm not gonna be able to make more videos. They will just be scheduled to upload by themselves, but I can't make any more of your suggestions. So press the subscribe button to the channel, check out the original videos in the description below, and head on to the Patreon to support the channel. That will make my life easier so very much. Also, you can check out my Instagram, it's Artur Rehi, and as always my friends, until my next video, stay cool and bye bye.